The Minnesota Timberwolves and Los Angeles Lakers are going to be battling in the first round in the 3-6 matchup in the West this season. Now, before we get into this matchup, there are a lot of things that we gotta go over. Some very different players from these teams from last season when they were in the postseason, and overall, the construction of both of these teams is very different despite their main star being there in both sides, in Anthony Edwards and LeBron James. But outside of that, the Lakers, as we know, going to get Luka Doncic trying to win a championship this season, and on the opposite end, the Timberwolves blowing up their team, trading away Karl Anthony Towns, one of the biggest pieces to their team, and trading for Julius Randle. Now, they have been hot recently. The Lakers have been playing good when Luka has been there as well. Maybe finally getting to full strength at this point between him and LeBron James, and we're going to have to dive into this series because this is definitely a big one in the Western Conference this year. Now, starting off, we can't talk about these teams without talking about Luka Doncic and Julius Randle, the two biggest additions for both of these teams this year. We can talk about some other guys later, some role players, or other players that are playing fantastic recently, but those are the two main guys when we talk about these teams, because on the opposite end, we know Anthony Edwards is going to show out, right? He's played in these playoffs before last year, having a fantastic season, almost going to the finals. This team was looking very, very good, but then Luka Doncic, who obviously we got to talk about as well, went through, hit some big time shots, especially over a guy in Rudy Gobert, who all defensive team, defensive player of the year multiple times, and Luka was just having his way with him last time they played last year. So the Timberwolves, they know what Luka Doncic is capable of, and it seems like he is even more angry, upset, motivated, whatever words you want to use after that trade this year from the Mavericks, and he is ready and locked in. He brought that Mavericks team last year to the finals with the help of Kyrie Irving and the rest of that squad, but not the best team we've ever seen make the finals. He was carrying that team, let me tell you guys. And another guy that knows how to carry a team to a championship in the finals in LeBron James as well. It is scary hours for the Timberwolves and whoever the Lakers are going to face, but that doesn't mean that this team is unbeatable, right? We've seen this Lakers team struggle throughout this season, even somewhat recently when they dropped 2 games to the Bulls of all teams. Yes, Josh Giddey hit that full half-court shot to win that first, or I believe that was the second game. The first game, they almost blew them out, I believe. It was a very, very big difference between those 2 games, but the Lakers are definitely not invincible, right? The playoffs, a very different time, but this team has struggled. They've played very well at some instances, looking like one of the best teams, at one point having one of the best defenses in the league. They also have a rookie head coach. And on the opposite end, these Timberwolves know how good they are together. Now, Julius Randle, obviously a big addition and difference from this team last year that went pretty far, but it seems like they're finally clicking together, and this team has been hot over the past few months as well. Now, setting the odds, setting the stage. When we look at this, the Lakers are a favorite in this series, but not by too much. Honestly, if you're looking for value, the Lakers at -195, the Timberwolves at +160. This is a somewhat close competitive series. Odds-wise, when we look at this, right? It's not like this is projected to be a blowout. And when we look at the exact games and the series or the correct score, however you want to look at it, the Lakers' favorite to win this series at +340 is to win 4-3 in 7 games, and then +400 to win 4-1, and then +475 to win 4-2. And the Timberwolves' most likely option is to win at home in 6 games at +500. So it seems like a sweep maybe out of the picture for either squad in this one, but I think you could easily point out some flaws in both teams, and both teams could go on and win this series. Like I said, a guy in Julius Randle, which is a very big addition. The one thing that you want to point out with this squad is that he has not been the best playoff performer, to put it lightly. In 15 playoff career games, Julius Randle averages 17 points, 9.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 3.9 turnovers. So, pretty close to some of the stats, maybe a little bit lower than he usually sees in the regular season, but that's not what I want to look at. What I want to look at is his shooting splits. 34.4% from the field, not from three, from the field, and 28.3% from three. That is just bad, right? Yeah, he's getting 17 points per game, but with those numbers, that's definitely not a great look. And look, I am not the biggest Karl Anthony Towns supporter in the world, but you got to be honest at this point. Karl Anthony Towns is a lot better of a player right now and a lot better fit for that team, in my opinion, than we've seen from Julius Randle. Randle has been great for this team in the second half of the season, no doubt, but there's definitely an elephant in the room when we look at this team. Playoffs, those 15 games, that's not just a 1 series or 2 series stretch, right? That's enough games where we can look at it and say, okay, there might be a problem going on here. Can he turn it around in this series? Absolutely, right? It's not like he is going to be the number one guy and he has to go out there and get every single basket, because we know Anthony Edwards is capable of that. We've seen him do that before. He is the guy for this team. But you're going to need another guy to step up, because when we look at this Lakers team, if Luka takes a step back, who's going to step up? I don't care if LeBron is 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. It's LeBron James. It's the playoffs. He's going to step up, right? And maybe he's not going to score 40 points per game, but he's going to get maybe 10 plus assists every game. He's going to get his guys open. And another guy who's been fantastic, one of the best third options, if not the best third option, depending on who you ask this season, in Anthony Reeves. This guy is just great so far. Like, looking at his season, he has just been fantastic, and he has stepped up. Austin Reeves, not Anthony Reeves. I don't know why I said that. I was getting the Anthony Edwards mixed up with the Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has been fantastic this season, right? There's no doubt about that overall. He has been great. And he may not be a star level player, but he's putting up pretty decent numbers, right? He's putting up over 20 points per game, and he has been fantastic through some stretches, putting up 25, 30 points per game over stretches this season. Like, he has been that third option, potentially even the second option, which the Lakers were looking for before they traded for Luka and got rid of AD. Now, we do have to talk about getting rid of Anthony Davis as well. There is going to be a gap in the defense for this team, and you cannot avoid that either. This matchup that we're going to see between Rudy Gobert and whoever plays center for the Lakers, most assumingly going to be Jackson Hayes, unless they go for a smaller lineup, which we have seen this season at some points. It's definitely very, very different. The reason why Luka was so good last year in the playoffs was he had that lob threat, and it was very, very hard for Rudy Gobert to guard against those high flyers last year in Daniel Gafford, in Derek Lively. They had two guys that could go up there and get it. Jackson Hayes is not the same level lob threat as both of those guys were last year. So there's a lot going into this series. Yes, it's a first round matchup, but this is a series that could, really determine who makes it to the Western Conference Finals, because the winner of this is going to be going up against either the Rockets or the Warriors, right? So whoever wins this series could easily, I could easily make an argument that they could make the Western Conference Finals, right? I don't think there's any doubt about that, because the Rockets and the Warriors both have holes in their games as well. So I think there's no surprise out there that whoever wins this series could go on and win the second round as well. I wouldn't count either of these teams off. Who am I going to go with? It's very, very hard to pick against Luka and LeBron in this series. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I don't think it's going to end in maybe 5 games. I would say Lakers in 6 is my official prediction for this series. I think it's going to be too much. I think Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert may not be able to carry that load of being that second star for this team, because they're going to need it. They do have some decent players, coming off the bench as well, and I don't want to write them out completely, because Anthony Edwards can go out there and get you 40 and keep these games close, but I think the star power of this Lakers team is going to be a little too much for this team overall. But let me know down below who you guys think is going to win this series. Like I said, I think it's pretty close. It could go either way. So let me know who you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.